2 months ago, I started transforming my studio apartment. But if you look around, it doesn't really look like anything changed. Same boxes, same unfinished walls, same stuff everywhere. Yeah, about that. I wasn't even sure if I wanted to film this because, to be honest, I feel a little ashamed, a little awkward. But then I realized something. Sometimes when nothing changed on the outside, a lot can be happening on the inside. And that's exactly what happened these past 2 months. So, here I am, 2 months later, feeling stuck. But also starting to understand why.
Hello my love, hello. So, it has been a minute. So hello, for the people who don't know me, my name is Bettien Sarpong. I make videos about lifestyle, personal development and faith. And if you like that, you know what to do. I was busy getting my life back on track. I was having a lot of job interviews because I was applying for new jobs. We all know how the market is. By the way, I got a new job. Sometimes I wasn't feeling myself mentally, which blocked me to go further with my studio apartment. Anyhow, life was just lifing. You know what I mean? I feel like this is just life. On top of that, I was also doing my hair documentary, which also asked a lot from me, especially if it comes to reflecting, editing, interviewing people and stuff like that. I was just trying to figure it out, and here I am. So, thank you for being here and welcome to my journey.
I realized something during this past 2 months. This project isn't just about redecorating my studio. I have been living in survival mode for years. Always used to living on the edge, constant rush, urgency, chaos, and adrenaline. And I started to see how that pattern showed up in different parts of my life.
So looking at the walls, I need to do some touch-ups because it's not perfectly neat. So that's one thing I'm going to do before I'm ready to decorate this wall. The painting over here, which I messed up, which I think are important to do to make that last finishing touch before everything is like well done. The same is also for the floor. You can see, right? You can see like that here is still space that I need to do.
You know, when you've been in survival mode for that long, peace can actually feel unfamiliar. And that's what this project is slowly creating for me, but also learning me. Even if I didn't realize it at first. Peace, stability, a place that feels like home. Every time I thought about finishing the apartment, I felt resistance, like something was blocking me. I think I just don't know how to just be and not survive. Not because I didn't want it, but because my body didn't recognize it yet. And realizing that made me feel vulnerable and honestly, a little ashamed.
What is survival mode? Survival mode is when your mind and body are in a prolonged state of stress, operating in fight or flight mode just to get through the day. Instead of being able to think long term or enjoy the moment, you're just getting by. It's exhausting because you're constantly waiting for the weekend or the next break, but when it comes, you can't truly enjoy it, and this takes a toll, not just on you, but on those around you.
It looks great, but the taste, for them it's great.
Yeah, but you also, if you not break it, you also don't keep breaking it, right? Yeah.
Oh wow, thank you so much.
And it's like, okay, so what do I... Oh shoot, you're seeing me very close. So you guys should know I do have a style in my head, and I don't know if that's the style I fully want to like embrace. A mix of vintage, modern, and maybe a little bit eclectic, maybe, and culture. So I want those 3 or 4 elements to like go hand in hand, and that will be like my style. But I don't know how I'm going to bring that to life. So I decided that I am going to redecorate my studio in sections. So each section has something I want to do with it. We have the hallway, that's section 1. All my clothes, of course, they have to find a place where I can store them, but I have to keep in mind that my space is small. So I'm now figuring out like how am I going to do this in a way that it won't take a lot of space. And then we have section 2, which will be this side, like the kitchen part. The thing is, I do want like a kitchen vibe somewhere in my house, and I was doubting if I'm going to do that like on this side or on the other side, keeping in mind which one will work the best and will like capture the eye the best if you walk in. So yeah, section 2 will be like the dining area. We have section 3, which is the living area, and that's an area I think completely going to change. One, I want a different couch, keeping in mind which kind of style I have. It's necessary for me to buy another couch, and also keeping in mind that I'm going to buy a couch which I can like transform in a bed if people stay over. And then I have the TV cabinet. I don't want all the books out anymore, so I'm going to think if I'm going to close this whole thing or if I'm going to buy a total new cabinet. And then I have the area where my bedroom-ish is, and the bed. I am thinking about wrapping my bed, so giving it a other color or vibe instead of gray, because the board, I'm going to get rid of the board and going to buy another one instead, and that one of course have to match the rest of my bed. Then section 1, 2, 3, 4. Then section 5, which will be my makeup corner slash maybe also the corner where I can work. Don't know it for sure. I think if it comes to that corner, I do know what I want. That are the ideas that I'm having right now. I have it in my head, and now I have to make sure that I can execute them and make things happen. If you have like tips for me or advice for me, you can comment below and then add section 1 the living room or section 4 the bedroom. You can do this and this and this, then I can read in my comments and maybe get some inspiration.
Something slowly started changing. Even though the apartment looked the same, my mind wasn't. I started to realize how important this project actually is for me. It's not really about redecorating anymore. It's about learning to let my nervous system be okay with slowing down, with feeling at home, and allowing myself to invest in my own space because I deserve to feel safe and settled.
I want to paint the hallway. So I have to move everything.
That realization gave me a new perspective and a bit of motivation again. Because at some point I thought to myself, Bettien, you deserve this.
So when I was painting the walls, I thought this color would be okay till the end. Now I decided that I also want to color this one and this wall, like those two, so that it seems like one solid color. And then maybe it would be nice if this wall here, right, I will pop it just one random color to just like make it more vibrant. But I don't know which color I could do. I was thinking about maybe green, but I don't know if that green will suit this color. So that's something I'm going to think about and I can decide later. So guys, I have to be honest, I switch ideas. Look. So now this wall and this wall will be the same color. And I think this wall and this part I'm going to do another color. I think in the next video it will be done, and then we're just gonna start to decorate.
I first didn't know what to say to you guys, and that's why I hesitated to film this. But knowing that a lot of you are invested in this journey gave me the extra push to show up anyway. I don't know exactly how life works, but I do know that sometimes showing up is already enough. We tend to want to move fast, to be perfect, and to have everything figured out. But I'm learning more and more that real change often starts in the quiet moments, when you're simply honest about where you are, and brave enough to take the next small step anyway. Hope this helps. Sending hugs.